I'm going to need you guys to walk me through this. Now tell me exactly what happened.
Where do we begin?
We all knew each other from the newspaper club at school. I was the editor, Anthony was the photographer, and James didn't do much. He joined to have more extracurriculars so colleges would want him more. I was glad to have him since we needed all the people we could get to keep the club going.
So, bad news, guys. They've cut the club.
What? How could they?
The district is running into tough times, and it's not like we're the only club that's been affected. They're cutting the Glee Club and the Geography Club, too.
Oh, God, this blows. I mean, how can they just cut us without giving us the opportunity to fundraise for ourselves?
Hey, at least your job isn't in danger. Listen, the school committee has to decide on a budget soon, or else they're just going to be laying off staff left and right.
I don't understand. How did this prompt you to become involved in the case?
Well, that happened a few days later. A student clerk in the offices. One of the secretaries was gone one day, so I had to step up and take on more of her work. Just a little things. Anyways, I was dropping a stack of documents on Principal Anderson's desk when her phone rings. It startles me and I jump back, knock a bunch of papers to the floor. I started to gather them up. I realized that they're expense reports for the school. Immediately, I started to suspect something is off. I'm no accountant, but I knew something was up. So I pocket them and I book it.
Can you tell me more about the documents?
So I looked at it in more detail later, and it became pretty obvious that something was wrong. Like, it would say things like $5,000 for new gym equipment, but we haven't had new equipment since 1975, and like $2,500 for class of 8 for new AP textbooks.
So what did you do?
Absolutely not.
Why not? I think it makes sense.
It's crazy. We can't just break in.
Well, why not?
Because it's crazy. Breaking and entering is a crime, and stealing is not going to make it any better.
We have probable cause to assume that Anderson is somehow involved with or knows about some sort of embezzling. We should check it out.
And why should we investigate?
Because there isn't enough evidence to do anything about it.
But this is different.
No, it's not.
You're the one who's always saying that we have a responsibility as journalists to expose the truth, to investigate things like this, and you're just gonna let it slide?
And so you broke in to Superintendent Milgram's office?
Yes, sir.
And you are aware that breaking in and subsequently stealing is a felony offense?
Yeah.
All right. What happened next?
The act of breaking in was actually pretty brief. Anthony had swiped a key from before and let us right in. It wasn't too hard to find the evidence we needed. Once we found the right pile, we grabbed and left. Anthony left the key on the desk, so it seemed like it was just forgotten. Some skimming over the documents revealed we were right. We had enough evidence to go to the police.
I think we got him.
And yet at this time, you did not alert the authorities?
Because the next day we were called into Principal Anderson's office.
Dr. Milgram and I are worried about you. Last night, our cameras caught you 3 sneaking into the school after hours. What was that? And then this morning, we discovered several files missing from Dr. Milgram's office, which leads us to believe you 3 are responsible.
Yeah, and what if we are?
Then we have the option of reporting you to the police.
So do we.
But, we don't really need the police now, do we? You guys are bright kids, so you made a mistake. You guys have a bright future. You're all going to prestigious colleges. But that's the funny thing about this school. Transcripts tend to get lost. Mistakes are made. But that doesn't have to happen. You guys are on the right track. If you made a mistake, we'll look beyond it.
Are you trying to bribe us?
You 3 have nothing to worry about. Your future is in our hands.
Oh my god, I can't even believe you think that's an option.
Why isn't it? It makes perfect sense.
All that talk last night about ethical decisions and responsibilities, we can't just roll over on this.
It's different now. They could legitimately ruin our lives, and we stand to benefit from it. You might get good grades, but Anthony could definitely use the GPA boost.
You know, I don't even care about that boost. Like, what do you think would happen if we tell the truth? Like, we technically obtained those documents illegally, so who knows if we can even use them in court.
And they have video evidence of us breaking in. If they want us to get in trouble for this, we would be so screwed.
I don't care. We can't just give up on this. This is so much bigger than us. They're a few years from sucking the district dry. And then what? I have younger siblings. I don't want them to get screwed over because I want a GPA boost. Plus, who even knows us if they're going to make good on their promises. We won't know until we get letters back from colleges, and by then it'll be way too late for us to do anything. They'll have more than enough time to cover their tracks to screw us over.
That's true. If we stay quiet now, we'll probably be played later.
And if we expose them, we'll open ourselves up to prosecution for burglary.
But we would be making the ethical decision.
But not the best decision for us.
You know, none of this even matters if we can't make decisions soon. Like, they're not gonna wait to call the cops on us. We either get to them first, or we beat them to the police station.
And that's how we ended up here.
Well, you three are going to be charged with misdemeanor offenses. But we can give you a plea deal if you agree to testify against Milgram and Anderson. That'll give us enough to get a warrant so we can investigate the school district and determine if there was any fraud or embezzlement of funds taking place. In the meantime, you're free to go. Thanks for doing the right thing. It takes courage to do what you did.
Thank you, sir. After that, Milgram and Anderson were on leave while the investigation was conducted. Everything at school was pretty normal, but to me it was all a blur. It was surreal to think about what had happened. My first big break as a journalist resulted in a huge criminal case against my former educators. I used to see Principal Anderson every day. When I was younger, her daughter used to babysit me, and I was about to be responsible for her imprisonment. It's funny how it works like that. You feel small and unimportant, and then if you do something big, you're just left standing there like, holy shit, I did that. Everybody wants to go out and change the world, but I don't think half of us expect to really do anything. That's the way of the world, I guess. We're all just stumbling around, waiting for change, expecting someone else to make it, and being astounded at what we can do ourselves.